Hello, my name is Cason Cunningham, and I chose to do Carla Pestana's Quaker Executions as Myth and History. So this here is an image um, created about the execution. And the three kind of main points I discovered was kind of in Carla Pestana's work was kind of the shifting narrative or rewriting of history, revisionist history, if you will, of the story of the four martyrs. Um, so this is a quote from Persecution, Politics, and War, Roger Williams, Quakers, and King Philip's War. It said, the next day, a market startled Boston residents, and many visitors discovered the Quaker version of God's controversy with New England. On the front of the memorial was the verse, although their bodies here in silent earth do lie, yet are our righteous souls at rest, our blood for vengeance cries. And Arthur Worrell says the message was clear. The Indian Wars came as a result of the previous persecutions. And so this was kind of the idea that, the martyrdom of those Quakers, and their kind of prophetic, you know, decrees as they were being led to the gallows. This was the vengeance that God was meting out on the Puritans for their actions in executing those four Quakers. Um, then next we have kind of the middle interpretation or the second interpretation of if you will, made by the Quakers. Kind of this shift when Quakerism kind of shifted from their a little more aggressive or militant, perhaps, interpretation to a more pacifist and quietism. They kind of revised their history to express their recently articulated values. So as the religion shift, they kind of change the story and the motivations of the Quaker martyrs, as they call them. And kind of the final interpretation or narrative put forth by the Quakers was this idea that it was the Puritans that were the intolerant ones. The Quakers were just trying to spread their message, and they were persecuted to the point of death in four of their cases for their faith and religion. And then the final kind of example used by Pestana was this kind of the shifting of justification used by the Puritans. So initially, the Puritans said, "Hey, this is a religious issue. They're being executed for a religious reason. They're teaching heresy. We can't have any of that in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, and so that's why we're executing them." And they felt justified in that initially. And then, as later arguments came out and defenders of the execution of the Quakers, the justification kind of shifted from that religious foundation, religious justice, to more of a civil justice. And they basically said, well, this is a law we had, we kind of pulled out of Elizabethan law, when they kicked out the Jesuits from England. And basically they said, hey, we banished them and they returned. We banished them, they returned. And finally, they used the kind of the illustration of someone holding a sword and the Puritans running onto it. We had our hands tied. How many times can we banish them? And they break our laws and our banishments, and they return and not face any repercussions for that. Without us not necessarily losing face, but kind of our honor or people believing our word. So that's what I did mine on. Hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing all of yours. Thank you.